Broadcasting live from Youngville, North Carolina and Ontario, Canada, this is Got Mead Live, a weekly show where Vicky Rowe and AJ Aramutz bring you the mead news, meadery info, and mead-making discussions from all over, talking with mead makers, mead owners, industry mavens, and influencers. This is Got Mead Live, a weekly podcast about mead and the people who love it and where the mead world is going. And now here are your hosts, Got Mead owner Vicky Rowe and mead and wine maker AJ Aramutz.
From the den of the puppies of the apocalypse in northern Michigan, the Bunny Pen in Ottawa, Canada, and the palatial retirement estate in Minnesota, it is Got Mead Live. Welcome to the show. I want to say thanks to all the folks who are who have renewed or signed up for a Got Mead patron membership over the last few weeks. You are appreciated. That is the only money that I get to keep the show on the road, so to speak. So it is very much appreciated, especially now that I'm a retired person. So if you're not a patron member, please consider becoming one. It's only $30 a year, and about 50 cents a week gets you access to the patron boards on the Got Mead forum, our patron Facebook group, and the award-winning recipes that are in there. And if you want to go sign up for the forum, it's free, gotmead.com/community. And if you do choose to upgrade, you can upgrade right from there. So if you're listening to us and you want to catch us live, you can find us on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. And I believe it's going out on Instagram tonight as well. Chat is part of our podcast, so we will see it if you comment from wherever you're at. However, we also have a Discord as well. So check any of the show links on any of the platforms. I put it up on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And there's a link there to the Discord invite to get to our server if you're not already in. Just, comment from wherever you're watching, whatever you want to do. But we're live on the Discord now. And the chat, that is. I haven't figured out how to get the show live on there yet. I'm working on that. So if you want to catch us on Twitch, we are twitch.tv/meadwench. On YouTube is youtube.com/@gotmead. X, it's x.com/realgotmead. Facebook is facebook.com/gotmead. And Instagram is instagram.com/gotmead. And of course, our social is facebook.com/gotmead. And our main group is facebook.com/groups/gotmead. We do ask a couple of questions to help us weed out the bots. So please do answer those and we'll let you right in. On X, of course, we are at Real Got Mead. Feel free to tweet. I'm usually watching the feed. And if you want to send us questions, comments, suggestions as to who to have on the show, or themes that you'd like to see us go after, like tonight, we're going to be kind of digging into mead competitions a little bit with Bill Bellair. So, feel free to let us know. Just go to gotmead.com, put your mouse over, but do not click Got Mead Live Radio Show, and click the drop down. That will take you to a form that gets sent to all three of us. So we are good to go there. I want to do a shout out to our lovely sponsors who've been sponsoring us now for, 2 years. Honeybrook Craft Mead. Discover Honeybrook Craft Mead with 2 Colorado locations to serve you. Visit our original Castle Rock tasting room and production facility, or our brand new Littleton Mead Cottage and Garden. Choose from our 20 taps of wonderful, light and refreshing craft mead, and find us using your favorite map app or visit us at honeybrook.com. That's HONNI brook.com. So as I said, tonight we've got Bill Bellair. Hey, Bill.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about, among other things, because we've got some oddball questions from Nathan that'll be fun. But we'll be talking a little bit about competition and stuff like that. So, and of course about Michigan Mead Coalition, which Bill founded and is running. But before we get to that, even more important, what are we drinking?
I guess I'll start.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, since I missed last week, I was traveling. I was in Colorado. I tried to make it to Honeybrook, but they weren't open when we were going through. So.
Oh, okay.
I know that was a shame.
Did you manage to get to any of the other ones?
Nope. We were pretty busy with the kiddos on their anniversary. So.
Well, that takes precedence. So.
Yeah, precedence. But this one I have been holding for a while. It's called Ube Noir.
Oh,
Session
Zymarian.
mead from Zymarium in Florida. It's made with caramelized honey from Florida, ube, pineapple, and marshmallow. I got introduced for the very first time to ube when I went to St. Louis for the St. Louis Mead Me in St. Louis competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea what ube was, but
Hmm.
I kind of fell in love with that. And so it's really fun to open up this mead. This thing, honestly, the color is insane.
Really?
It's a dark purple, verging on midnight. It has aromas of toasted black walnuts, ladyfingers, and gingerbread, followed by roasted sweet potatoes. It's very complex. Flavor starts out quite sweet with some toasted marshmallows, a very unusual candied vanilla, and then it layers in with more roasted sweet potato.
Hmm.
The finish is quite sweet, and it's a most unusual and well-crafted mead, well suited to sharing in small amounts with a group of experienced mead enthusiasts. I wish I had more of this to share with friends.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah,
Really
that
unique.
sounds fantastic.
I didn't know what an ube was either. I just had to look it up. So it's a kind of like a sweet potato.
Yeah, purple sweet potato.
It's a
Purple
purple
sweet potatoes,
sweet
okay.
potato from,
Oh.
I think from like the far southeast somewhere, but
Yeah.
really interesting.
Tracy's requesting a photo on
Yeah. And if you haven't
Yeah.
met Ginger, they're great people.
Discord.
They
Oh yeah, they're great. I love them. They were sending me samples before they ever opened their doors, and they had everything they had was wonderful, and they're just good folks.
they are.
Yeah, but I mean, this is one of those unique meads that if you get a chance to buy a can or a bottle or whatever, this is a session, so it's canned. I would absolutely say get it, hold on to it until you have some friends around. This is probably something you're not going to want to drink an entire can of,
Okay.
but it's just because it's just so unique and that sweet potato kind of flavor. It's not something you're going to sit down after you mow the lawn and drink a whole can, right? But
Right. Yeah. I've got
it's
some blueberries.
really interesting, really unique, and lots of fun to try.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can get some of that at some point. Huh. Interesting. Guess I'm
What are
gonna
you
have to. Who, me?
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Etowah Meadery's Granny's Apple Pie. He sent me several cans of things along with the pawpaw mead that I'm going to crack next show when he's on. But yeah, and this is this is really nice. It's a session mead, 5% canned, and carbonated, of course, and just a really wonderful apple and spice flavor. But the apples are tart. It's like pie apples,
Nice.
and rather than usually you get a more sweet thing. So it's very tart, tingly, and a nice balance of spices. It doesn't overwhelm and it doesn't underwhelm. So it's, he got it right in the path. So it's just really doing well. And the honey holds up well. It's got a lot of body. You don't usually get a ton of body in a 5%. At least I've seen quite a lot of that in quite a few sessions. This one does not have that problem. And it's nice and mellow. The finish is long and tangy apple with that back line of honey, and it's just really delightful. I'm gonna have to see if I can lay my hands on some more of this too. They're out of North Georgia, and anybody wants to get some, it's EtowahMeadery.com. That's ETOWAH Meadery.com.
Is that's Steve Osband's meadery, right?
No, that's Blair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Etowah's a Native American. He's Native American, so
Aha.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, it'll be fun to talk to him next time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've talked to him.
Yeah, we had him on 7-8 years ago, I think.
Yep.
Been a while.
That has, yeah.
Well, tonight I've got the rest of Kevin's peach with sweet yellow clover that I started last show, and 2 weeks as half a bottle with the cork shoved back in has not done this any harm at all. It's really beautiful. The peach aroma is nice and delicate, but it's very definitely there. The flavor is wonderful, and it's got a great linger on the tongue for a surprising amount of time after you swallow. This is a delight. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Kevin, is that with the Nebraska
Sure.
clover?
Of course.
Well, yeah.
It's the 2019 Gibbons Sweet Yellow Clover. What else would be?
I got two gallon pails of that, and I'm trying to decide. I figure it's got to be a trend. I just can't see doing anything else with it.
It's
just
so
too much
great to
fun.
add to so many different things
Yeah.
where, especially things where there's a cinnamon component that would complement what you're doing. That's really what I save it for.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do that then. I got a couple gallons, so I can get a couple batches out of it and try some different things. What are you drinking?
So I'm going to segue into this for Bill because we're going to be talking a little about competition. So the bottle that AJ has in front of her there, I sent that to the Domrus competition about 3 or 4 years ago, and I got massively dinged because it tasted too much like peach.
It's a peach mead, isn't it? But yeah.
I keep hearing that peach is so hard to get.
It is. It's hard. It's hard to keep.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, it's hard to keep.
I didn't enter that competition after that.
This is beautiful. They're on track.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I think we should cover with Bill a little bit too.
I got lots to say about that.
But first, let's hear about what Bill is drinking before we move into that.
Sure. Right now, I'm actually drinking earlier I was balancing out a mead I'm making currently. So I'm drinking a kind of a fermenter thief of my meadow foam current mead that I'm currently balancing, and
meadow foam
pretty much right there. So it's really good. It's got a light tartness in the background, super current forward with that like nice like jammy fruit character, and then it kind of mellows out with that vanilla, almost marshmallow like character. It's tasting really good so far. So I'm excited about it.
Nice. It sounds yummy.
I just took the last sip of that, and then now I opened up a bottle of the Triumph of the Palms from Triaxle Meadery.
Oh yeah?
It is a honey date wine mead.
Oh.
That's what I'm going to be drinking for the rest of the show.
Okay. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with date meads. Because sometimes, I love dates, but they're big and heavy. So it's like, I don't love a lot of dates. I just love dates, if that makes any sense. and date meads I found often go hard enough on the date flavor that it kind of, I can't drink a lot of it.
I tend to agree, but Paul Zimmerman, who makes this, made a similar version of Bee Nectar, and drinking it as a home brewer before that, and he's got it dialed down. Like he makes just an absolutely wonderful date mead.
Nice. I might have to try it. Triaxle makes some good stuff, so definitely.
Well, they're not around anymore, unfortunately.
They did, yeah, but they made good stuff when they were open. I had some of that somewhere. I think it's gone now, but can't keep up anymore.
But they make great mead.
Yeah, didn't he used to work with Brad?
Yeah, he was the 1/3 partner.
Yeah, that ended up splitting off and doing his own thing. Yeah.
So he's done a couple different things. Triaxle has probably been, as far as production wise, been one of his more prolific things he did. He does still have a Mad Farmer cidery that he does.
Okay.
Another partner. But mostly he does distribution stuff now.
Well, it's solid work. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Yep.
For sure. Okay, well, now that we're all drinking. So let's get on with the shoe.
Let's start with the conversation about the peach mead then. Or things of that nature where you send something in it's declared in a way that makes it clear what it is, and somehow somebody takes offense to the fact that it actually tastes like what you declared. How do you deal with that?
It's a tough thing. So I, up to, this point, my biggest way to try to do that is education. And so one of the things that I do a lot around here is I run competitions. Run classes and proctor exams for the BJCP, and I do a lot of trying to teach people to not have biases over things and to understand, when things are declared, how they actually should be judged. But beyond that, it's so hard to combat that at a nation level that it's sometimes it's just heartbreaking when you get score sheets that are like you won. I've gotten it where I've gotten like a 30 on a mead that the week before I won nationals with, and was getting 45s 50s on, and so it's like heartbreaking when you put them into these things and you shipped all this stuff to have someone just crap on it because in the case I'm talking about, they don't like cherry.
Oh well, I mean,
Right?
there's things I don't like. I don't let that color my judging. Come on.
I 100% agree, but the problem is even if you go complain to the
comp organizer.
Yeah, the comp organizer, what are they going to do? Oh, they can say, maybe we won't have that person back, maybe. But beyond that, it's done. It's over with. Everything's done. But
Well, it's after the fact, so there's only so much you can do.
Exactly.
In a multi-round competition like nationals, maybe there's a little bit they could do, but for most competitions, it's over and done. It's more.
Yeah.
What can I do next year to avoid that problem?
Well, I was gonna say, that's where you start looking at, is this person really suitable for being a judge in my comp, kind of thing like that. So, and as much as I hate to say, no, let's get this person out of here, some people just,
or put them somewhere else where they can be useful,
right. Maybe they're not ready yet, or maybe it's just not something that they can easily do. I mean, not everybody can do everything. I mean, I fully admit that there are a lot of things I can't do.
I would recommend for people who are signing up to judge, if you have a strong bias against something, let's say cherries or metafoam or sours, right? There's options in almost all the competition software, so you can declare that you do not want to judge specific things because of your bias.
I usually opt out on braggots, not because I'm biased, but maybe a little because I don't particularly care for braggots, but also because I've not judged them enough. I've not had so many of them that I feel as though I've got a sufficient amount of expertise in them.
So those are things that you can do when you sign up as a judge to make sure that you're not going to be judging those things where you have a particular strong bias against it, and so you are not doing a disservice to the person who entered that meet.
Another thing I will say is that when it comes to mead, beer judges aren't always the best mead judges.
Oh, that's a really nice way of putting it, Bill. I maybe wouldn't have been quite so tactful.
Some very good beer judges who are good mead judges. So
there are plenty.
It's not a one size fits all.
Oh no, of course,
right? But I've had national level judges who have judged a million competitions, who I look at a mead sheet and it is the most god awful sheet I've ever seen, and they're like not picking up anything, and like the other person might give all kinds of information, and they're like writing BS, and they end up being way lower than almost everybody else in the competition. And so there's it is and I'm BJCP beer from way back, and it was that grained into my head that, a 45 is almost you would never give ever.
Oh yeah, well that's because the beer guys operate on the you take all the points with you that you don't award when you die principle.
Yeah. And so, a great beer would be like, a 38, 39. If you look at a mead competition, a 38, 39 is kind of that middle of the road, kind of lower end stuff.
Mm-hmm. I've seen triple 50s a few times. Tom Repus was one of them.
Right. And so it's like, mead scores tend to be much higher than beer scores in competitions.
Interesting.
But traditional beer judges tend to like to take the points with them when they die. Right.
Kid Tram used to announce that at Mazer. Like, I just want you guys to be aware, all you beer people out there, that you can't take the points you don't award with you when you die. So,
yep, agreed.
I'm gonna try though.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, and like another one that I had just in this last competition with at the Michigan Mead Cup. I was there and I was judging, and I could hear behind me, the table behind me was a mini boss that I recognized when they talked about my meads, that two of my meads were on the table. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm writing away, sort of listening in the background. And the one guy is just like, I don't like this honey. It was Zambian honey.
Zambian honey is amazing. Come on.
It's very particular, though. Keep in mind, it's very smoky and
it's
caramely
and like tobacco. And
I love that.
And all these these different characters. And I had it in a sizer that was aged in a maple syrup barrel.
Okay.
And
that sounds interesting.
And it got a 46 combined score.
Okay.
But in the mini boss, it died out because this guy just said, I don't like this honey.
And he stood his ground on that, huh?
He stood his ground on it, and then people were arguing with him. But then, he's like, no, we can't have this one go forward. And he's like, I think this isn't great. And so everyone's like, fine, we'll kick it out. And they kicked it out. And I'm like, son of a bitch, just because this one guy
doesn't like the honey. He didn't even have a legit reason. I don't personally care for this honey is not a reason.
Yeah. So, this is the biases become a constant fight when it comes to competitions, which you can't, I don't know any good way to fix that, again, because half the time you're shipping these things halfway across the country. Every competition's run different with a different set of people, and we're half the time they're begging for judges. So
as a maker, probably about the only thing you could do is to not pick super unique honeys or flavors. Things that are more, if your goal is simply to win more medals, pick things that are more familiar to the audience that you expect to have there, which is not the best answer for sure, but it is a tactic you could employ.
I think you could, but I think on the other hand, uniqueness adds some, especially when it comes on to mini boss or best of show.
It stands out better.
It stands out better, and people.
That's true. As long as you don't get a judge who's like, I don't like that.
Agreed. But that's
well, and honestly, and this is just my opinion, but in my, from my point of thinking, if a person is making calls like, I'm going to throw this out because I personally don't care for XY flavor, then that person should not be on a mini boss or boss table.
Perhaps
bad
that's
enough
true,
that he's judging,
the decision's already been made for that. So it's kind of too late to back that out.
True. But, for future reference, though, knowing that this person throws out things that he doesn't like, there'd be a whole lot of buckwheats going by the wayside if it was. I looked at it.
Yeah, your personal taste should not be.
The organizer, the judge coordinator need to be made aware of that so they can deal with it the next time, right?
Yeah.
And always.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're entering in a comp and you get your sheets back and it says, I don't like beets. So so this is terrible.
But a mini boss, you don't get any feedback.
You don't
No,
get
no,
to-
no. I know, but
I would
but
never know that happened had I not been within earshot
Right.
of talking.
right. But I gotta wonder if said person had similar comments on Meads in the first round. You know.
So as someone who has organized competitions, and I know Bill has too, that's the kind of feedback that organizers and judge coordinators actually want to know about. They want to hear that. So
You should let them know.
I would encourage entrants to go ahead and send an email. Don't get all huffy about it or anything. It's done. It's over. But send some information. You can just let somebody know, and you can provide the entry numbers so they can go look it up in the system if too much time hasn't gone by. Because of course most competitions purge that stuff before the next year, so there's a limit on the amount of time. But provide that feedback, because nobody's ever going to improve if there isn't some sort of feedback loop for review.
Yeah.
I agree. So
yeah, I guess you just have to watch your wording and don't phrase it as a sore loser type thing. Just as a this is not the way competition should be. Your personal taste shouldn't be forefront.
Yeah, in my opinion, a judge should be able to keep their personal tastes out of the judging process. It doesn't, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. That's not what we're looking at here.
Right.
How well does
most judges are pretty good at recognizing the bias that they have and dealing with it appropriately. I think most of these situations are pretty few and far between as a rule, but still you run into them no matter where you are and who you're doing it with.
Yeah. Sadly, though, there are people who just never seem to set that aside,
Yes. And, if they have a chronic problem, those are the ones that you don't necessarily want to invite back.
Yeah. Yeah. But there again, the organizer, judge coordinator are not going to know
unless somebody tells them.
Unless somebody lets them know that that's happening because they don't see those sheets. Well,
Right.
they might glance at those they're getting scanned if they were doing, physical sheets, but other than that, they never see those sheets. So.
Right. I know personally, I do an audit for Valkyrie's Horn.
Oh.
Every year after the comp. I won't be doing it this year because I'm not organizing, but for the past 6 years, I do an audit every year after the comp finishes. I look at a whole bunch of the score sheets to see where people are at and make sure that we're getting good score sheets. And by and large, they're really quite good. But every now and then you run into one that's not. And so those are the ones where you have some sideline conversations with folks and see if you can find a way to improve that.
Yeah.
And if not, then you don't have to go back the next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say some of those conversations are hard because I've had those conversations with grandmaster level.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, I've had conversations like that with people at that level, and it's
not going to name names, but I've had ones where they wrote 3 words on a sheet, and I had to give it back to them and told them they had to write more, and they gave me very nose in the air kind of scoffing that I was even questioning their sheets.
People paid for your opinion. Give them your opinion.
Yeah. Especially when you're at that level, you're supposed to be the example, and sometimes they're definitely not. So it's definitely I don't care if you didn't care for the beverage. That's that even more. You should have more things to say than if you didn't care for it. Not
Yeah. And I think that's very true, actually. When there's more problems in a beverage, it's a lot easier to write more about it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
If you love something and it's got all these flavors, you can write the things that you taste in it. But on a score sheet, that doesn't necessarily help anyone. But you're not critiquing as much because you're really enjoying it, right? But something that has balance issues or is inherently flawed in some way, you have a lot more to talk about, not only with what is making it harder to enjoy, but also ways that you're going to be able to fix it, and ways that you're perceiving it, and how you have it, right? Where in the palate you're getting these sensations, right? Is it the front? Is it the back? Is it after you completely finish swallowed? All these areas where you can have these flaws be apparent, that whoever's made that might not even necessarily be picking those things up, and you have a more refined palate to be able to pick those things out and call them out in the proper spot.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say meh on a score sheet, you're not.
I have never said meh on a score sheet. Oh God!
If you ever did say meh on a score sheet, you should be fired.
Yeah, I'd be mortified to put that on there. It might say something like that. It's a little flabby,
No, it was literally meh. Was that
the entire thing?
That was it.
Oh, you're overall impression. That's crazy.
By a grandmaster level, X is something higher. Yeah.
Mm.
Seriously, expand your vocabulary, dude.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, I mean, I'm an advocate for BJCP. I think that it's it's doing things that are helping homebrewers across the board, but there is room to improve, I think, in many ways.
There always is. I mean,
and I've only heard rumors of what's going to be coming with the new mead guidelines, but I'm hoping that they are better than what we've come up with today, because today's guidelines are barely guidelines. They're more of a kind of, it can be anywhere from dry to sweet, anywhere from noticeable fruit to heavy fruit, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, what don't have flaws. That's your guideline.
It comes down to that, and balance, and overall impression, enjoyability, that kind of thing. Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's not like beer. Beer is a lot more specific, and in beer, the list of ingredients that you can use is much more restrictive. So
that is true.
I think that makes it a lot easier to write guidelines that are particular to the sub-style than it is in mead, where the range of expression is so huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and I mean, people are constantly coming up with
like ube.
Yeah, right. Unheard of ingredients and/or honeys. I mean, I remember the first time we ran across the heck was it? Indian mustard blossom, which there's more of that around now, but at the time it was hardly anybody had seen it, and I was like, well, okay, we're all like looking it up, trying to get a flavor.
Of course.
Yeah.
I had one,
and that still happens regularly. Mead
yeah.
competitions, right? I mean, people are sourcing all these great honeys, or unique honeys at least, all over the place now, and half the judges don't have a clue what they are. I mean, let's face it. And how could you expect them to do so? Because there's so many choices. You can't keep up with it all.
Pretty much for every flower, there's a
honey. Yeah. If it's all that, or mostly that one flower. But I was updating the honey library yesterday, actually, because it was all different size containers, yada yada, and it was messy, and I wanted it to look nicer and be easier to tote around, because I take it with me when I go to events. I'm teaching a mead making class on Saturday, so I'll take it with me and put that out, for the students to pick up. Lost me.
Or me.
No, you're still there. I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Oh.
All right. All right. Can you guys hear me?
You're saying something about honey library, and then it quit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I didn't lose you. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Thank God you're hanging on.
Kevin's still the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm used to it. Just keep it coming. Lay it on me.
He's had I'm going to say we have had our share of computer issues, but Kevin's computer didn't like him for a long time. It was just having problems. It was like, get on. No, we can't hear you. No, we still can't hear you. So, but anyway, so I was updating the honey library because I've got all these. I've got honey I brought back from every place I've been, right? And it just kind of was collecting up, and I've got bags and bottles and jars and blah 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 blah. And so I was trying to get it. I bought me a set of nice 4-ounce jars and so on. So I was doing it, and I'm going through it. I'm tasting each one as I do it, just to try to get my palate back up to date, because you forget after a while, it doesn't, the remembrance gets dull, especially at my age. And it was just, just stunning how different some of them were. So I'm like tasting Minnesota buckwheat, and then the next one is this Hawaiian, the beach honey, and then the one after that was the German cherry. Kevin, you and I fell in love with that one. Mm-hmm. Sell our souls to get a bucket of that stuff.
If only.
If only. I know, right? They're getting buckets of that stuff, because otherwise, how would they get all the jars of it?
Could I afford any of it? That's
no, probably not. Yeah, but
you got to be a Tesla millionaire or billionaire to get that stuff.
No kidding. But so I've got like these wildly different ones, and and it's really amazing to me how many people, even in the mead world, aren't aware of how broad that field is, and the vast differences that there can be between two honeys. People just don't get that. Not everybody, of course. There's plenty of people who do get it, but it's always amazing to me how many people don't realize that.
One of the
I need to update my honey library too. I got to get them all like you were doing. Get them in a more uniform size.
Mm-hmm. I had like jars, and I had little bottles and squeezies, and a couple of bears, and
get them all nicely labeled, and probably provide a a summary of each one for.
No, now you're going one step further than I have, though. I did think about that. Like, I need to write down a flavor profile for each of these, and it's like, that's going to take forever. I'll do that after I take the class. So
we'll be bringing that to the competition. That's one of our things. Is we bring the library.
That's what gave me the inspiration to do it.
Yeah, right. And with Adam not being involved anymore, we lost his library, so I got to bring mine.
Oh, I didn't realize. Life caught up.
No, Adam's fine. He's working at a commercial brewery now, so he's just too busy, and he's got 2 little boys to take care of.
You're right. So. Life is taking over. It happens.
Really, life comes first.
Yeah, life and family especially comes first. Yeah.
Really tough to get him out to things now, which we miss him, but we understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, eventually those boys will get bigger, and
join in.
Yeah, join in.
But that'll be another 12, 13 years from now.
Yeah, well,
I'll be dead and gone.
I keep forgetting you're older than I am.
Yeah.
We'll start planning your weight, Kev, okay?
Okay, thank you. And by the way, there might be a couple 100 gallons of things that you could serve, so everybody better get a room.
Yeah, I got to get somebody who's going to plan mine, much for the same reason, because my daughter had a cow, and I told her I was just going to give it all away.
I have actually been to a funeral like that.
What, just a Meadley funeral?
No, she was a brewer, and so what they did was what they served at the wake, and the funeral was what she'd been making.
All the carboys in the basement.
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
What a great way to go out. I mean, I can't think of a better way to eulogize somebody.
Yeah, her blueberry schnapps was amazing.
I'll bet. Dang, that's a wonderful tribute.
Mm-hmm.
So but going back to comps, it's like I think it would be great if we could somehow. I mean, you guys are doing it with Valks, Kev, and having the library there, so people can take advantage of let me update my palate, broaden my palate, whatever, as to what these different honeys are like. And I think if we could somehow get more of that to happen, it would make a big difference.
Absolutely. Like anytime you do a sharing or tasting event, if you can bring something like that, it's a great idea.
No, I started toting it around. I take it to my bee club meetings. Mm. They love that stuff.
That's actually really smart. I wonder, I might I might take that idea for Michigan Mead Cup next year.
You should, yeah.
Work with MMC and just be like, hey, anyone who gets any interesting honey,
Contributes.
I'll go get. Here's a bunch of jars. Grab a jar, and next thing
Yeah,
you
give me a couple ounces of that. Yeah.
Whatever.
And
label.
another suggestion I would offer:
put labels on them first.
Yeah,
so they can write what it is on.
Definitely put labels on them, and not on the lids.
On the lid and the jar. That's what I did.
Yeah, jar. Yeah, because the lids all get piled together, and you don't.
And then you can't find out. Yeah, so I put it on the lid and the jar to make sure that they could go back together.
Final suggestion there would be to label them with the company from which you purchased the honey and the year it was produced.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some honey sources that are like sweet yellow clover is biennial if you get a good year, and if it's not a good year, it might be 4 years before you get a really good one. So knowing that what year it came from can be very useful information, because sometimes entrants will provide that information,
and that would make a difference, like
cluing you in to the fact that it's this year or not that year, right?
Like 2020 Nebraska Wildflower versus 2019.
Right. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing at all.
Still good. Not.
Oh yeah, but yeah, totally different at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a good idea, and I wish I'd thought of that when I bought the honey. Some of that honey I've had for years, you know.
Fix it.
I got all these pails, right? And the pails look like they've been through hell because they're, they were covered in dust. They've gotten dirty. They've, but they're still, I still have honey, and I don't remember when I got them. Might have been 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Vicky, I just posted a picture on the Discord that I took on Halloween.
Hey, cool.
That was awesome. That pint was delicious. We drank.
I'm so glad you liked it.
Yeah, so
I'd love to make that again, because it honestly is a pretty easy mead to make. This was a no water mead. That was 5 gallons of Chamberson juice and 5 gallons of Merlot juice that I got from an upstate New York vineyard, and it came in the like hermetically sealed 5-gallon jugs. And I just dumped that in there and added honey until I got where I wanted to be and let her go. Followed a Tasna protocol and just let it go. It's pretty straightforward. I can't remember what yeast I used on that one. I'm thinking it might have been D47, but I'd have to look at my notes, and my book is downstairs, I think. So.
We drank a bunch of that. We were drinking that along with a bunch of Norwegian meads.
Oh yeah, the Norwegian meads are good. That pie mate, you got to watch out. That's like 17%. It just got more energetic than I expected it to. So.
We were all feeling no pain. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, well, I'm really glad you liked it. I wish I had some of the vanilla variation left, because I took half the batch and then racked it onto some vanilla, and the vanilla undernotes on it were just. Oh, they were sublime. It turned out so well. I did just as an experiment, just to see what would happen. But I was really pleased with it. So I really want to make it again. And that was the biggest batch so far that I've made. That was a 13-gallon.
Yeah, but it was really good.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Back to competition stuff. So
we keep doing that.
Bring this all back together here.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of interested, Kevin, on what your thoughts are here. When you are heavily competing, I've heard a lot of different things about, instead of bottling up, up the things you have and then just sampling out bottles to competitions. A lot of people, myself included, sometimes when I'm doing heavy competitions, is I'll like put stuff into a keg with and leave it on nitro, and then when I go to bottle, I've got floating dip tubes, and I bottle from that, and then if in taste to make sure things are good. If I need a balance before anything that's age wise, I'll balance out and then ship out right when I as I bottle, so that it's as fresh and as clear as it's going to get.
And do you only do that for competition meads then?
Only for competition meads mostly. Like,
Okay.
I mean, if I have meads that I keg a lot of stuff, but like if it's big show meads, I'll just keg a lot of it. I'll bottle up most of it and then just dish it out when I want it. But if I'm heavily competing, because I don't want sediment and I don't want things like that, I won't like sit on bottles for a few months while I'm shipping stuff out, because no matter how clear I seem to get it, there's still some sediment at the bottom that comes out, things like that. So,
if it's bottled, absolutely, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you filter, you're still going to end up with some sediment in the bottom. It's kind of unavoidable unless you go to absolute, which most of us homebrewer types aren't willing to spend the cash for absolute filtration.
agreed.
So, pretty hard to not have some sort of sediment in your bottles. At least for me, I typically make 5-gallon batches, and I'm like 9 or 8 away from my 200th 5-gallon batch. So I'm trying to think, and actually I'll just say this right now. I'm looking for maybe some people to give me some ideas for what do I want to do for my very, very special 200th 5-gallon.
Oh, golly. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So let's hear it. So pretty much everything I have is kegged. If it's bottled, it means it's done and finished, and I'm probably not likely to enter it into a competition. So I'm going to bottle directly off the keg. I will occasionally make some small adjustments if I'm sending it somewhere for a competition, but mostly if it's in the keg, it's finished, it's ready to go, and I'm not really interested in making alterations. I do know that in my circle of half a dozen mead makers of the year types, I'm probably the exception to that rule. Most of them, I think, make small adjustments to their meads before they send them to competitions to make sure that they are presenting the way that they want it for that specific locality and the perceived bias of that location.
That's interesting. I've never really done it for location, but I can understand that.
Great. So, like if I'm sending stuff to Michigan Mead Cup next year, it's all going to be big acidy fruit bombs.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have
that's what you guys like.
Not really. There was a ton of not that big acidy fruit bombs.
Yeah, but overall, that is what that crowd likes. There are always exceptions.
There's always exceptions.
That's pretty accurate.
But I could name the 5 people you're probably talking about.
Sure. That's probably true.
The Mead Mafia, which I've been asked to have them back again, so at some point we'll have to do that.
So that's kind of all over the map, that group. Because I'm more of a session maker. Adam's more of a session maker. But then you got Matt Whitey and Al Boyce, they love their sweet bombs, and so it depends on where you're going. If I'm sending stuff to Georgia, to the Domrus competition, it's going to be probably pretty sweet, and because they have a bigger sweet tooth than we do.
That's handsome.
Yeah, right. So if I'm sending it to Texas, that's a challenge. I don't know. I know they love their sweet stuff, but there's definitely a group of people down there that like drier. So, you just got to figure that out and then fine tune what you're offering to that audience, which can be certainly very challenging.
Especially if you don't, if you're unfamiliar with that particular comp, it's, hard to tell. And that's where, if you're going to be entering a comp, it's not a bad idea to get out there and go, hey, who's entered XY comp? What have you noticed?
Exactly. Yeah. And, and again, some of it is based on your experience at that competition, because all right, if a competition allows you to enter 5 meads, well, you're going to have an experience with 2 or 3 different pairs of people. Probably you're not likely to get 10 completely different people. So
Yeah. Tracy says
know-
Dallas likes dry, by the way.
okay.
It says Texas has
Well,
so
that's
many
good to know.
regions. Yeah.
Yes, it's a big place. So for sure. Yeah. So it's challenging. Your experience at a specific comp, if you do it year after year, is going to change based on who's there. If it's generally locals who judge at the competition, you can develop a pretty good picture of what the bias is, in my opinion. But if you have comps like Mazer Cup or Valkyrie's Horn, where you get judges from absolutely all over the place, it makes it a lot harder to predict.
Yeah, because you're getting a lot of out of region people.
Out of region judges, yeah.
Yeah. And you get into the
And I
sugar
think-
belt, and it's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, for sure. And in the sugar belt, which I would include Michigan in that,
Yeah.
there's everybody in Michigan is kind of all Schramm Mead style focused, right? It's not totally, but that's the biggest influence. So that's what you send.
I agree with that in most Midwestern areas, and I will say that in this area, in a Besta show, it's hard to compete with a amazing dry trad, opposed to a Schramm style
Fruit bomb, yeah.
Right.
Is right.
Yeah.
You're doomed to fail in that situation.
On the best of show table.
On the best of show table.
Granted, we all would love to win best of shows, but it's not the be all end all. I mean, if your goal is to win more medals or just to do well in the competition, pick the categories where you have a solid offering and you're going to be fine. Whether it makes it to the final round of the best of show is another question, but you're still going to do fine.
As a competition organizer, one of the things that I've always noticed is that there are certain categories that tend to be lower entered categories.
Oh, yes. That's a tactical decision in my view.
And that's a tactical decision, right? So if you're looking for points for things like Mead Maker of the Year and stuff like that, you can aim to make meads that fall into some of those categories that are very much under entered.
Less traveled, like braggots, for instance.
Braggots are definitely one of those.
Braggots
can be one too.
There's an awful lot of bad ones, unfortunately, in the braggot.
Yeah, I know.
You
can make a good one, you're going to do great.
Yeah, you make a solid braggot. You could take that braggot, send it to all of them, and probably medal, without question.
Yeah,
even if it's pretty good. Because
I watched Mike Fall almost sweep braggots at Mazer Pro. And it was, they were good. They were really, really good. I think I've actually got a bottle or two of his braggots around here somewhere.
I'll make awesome braggots. And of course, those individuals do really, really well at competitions, as you might expect, because it's a small category typically.
Well, it's not like entering Barry Mills, which like everybody and their brother goes into.
Or experimental.
Yeah, it's just,
experimental.
That one and Fruit and Spice are generally the two very largest, competition categories everywhere. So, yeah.
And Matt Blends is another one that I think would be a good one, but that's more difficult to get it right.
But if you want to win medals, the traditional categories are a great place to do that, right?
Yeah.
So,
if you can
make yourself a dry trad, make a semi, make a sweet, and your chances go up because especially in the dry category, there's not a lot of great dry trads. No. So when you nail one, you're going to do really well.
Yeah, and it stands out like nobody's business.
Right.
And I'll say that, in my opinion, one of the biggest secrets to dry trads is really nailing down fermentation tannins, because post tannins in dry trads tend to be a little off in a lot of cases. But like doing things like opti whites and stuff like that, where you can ferment with them and really get a lot of character out of the mead. out of the honey itself, because there's not a lot of wiggle room once you're done. You can add acid, whatever, but you need to stay dry. So balancing is a lot harder post fermentation.
Yeah. I mean, I think making a dry trad is probably the toughest thing you can do.
Oh yeah, no place to hide. That's always been my mantra around dry trads.
Yeah.
You have to get it right. There is no quibbling there. It has to be right.
Right. But another key ingredient for that is to pick a distinctive honey that has a lot of aromatic intensity and complexity.
And picking the right yeast to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. Pick something that either doesn't interfere with the character of the mead or enhances it or complements it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires experience. That's not just something you find randomly, typically.
Yeah.
There's no fast and hard, this yeast goes with this honey kind of thing.
Oh, no.
It never goes. It's trial and error, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make it a few times and try things and figure out which one works out best.
I'm gonna take the nuclear option. I'm gonna next summer I'm gonna take a couple of these Hawaiian honeys that I've gotten, and I'm just gonna throw Kvike at it.
So
then the question is, are you gonna ferment hot? Are you gonna ferment warm?
No, I'm gonna ferment hot.
You're gonna go hot. Okay.
I'm gonna take it hot. Yeah, I want to try it. I've been wanting to do that for a while now, and I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll probably wrap a heating blanket around the thing. And take it really hot.
Some of those very floral, tropical, fruity kind of honeys, like you're talking about, like hot is a great choice because
that's what I was thinking. It seems like a no-brainer to me,
But
because they
the other problem with
varieties of Kvike throw those tropical notes. So
but you have to be careful too that you don't blow off all the aromatics.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's kind of where I was going to go with is I found that hot Kvike, it works. It gives a good neutral flavor across it. But if you're fermenting with delicate in any way honeys, it tends to blow away almost all of that money that you're spending on your honey.
Oh, interesting. So does it overwhelm it, or is it just ferments it off?
It just blows off a lot of the aromatics.
Interesting.
Which I think, if you're fermenting with fruit, let's say you got mango or peach or cherry or something like that, right? Then it's not as important that it blows off because you've got all that supporting structure from the fruit.
Right. And you wouldn't be able to
that
pick it up in any case. Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, especially if you're doing with the fruit, you're doing fruits, and what I find is that it's great for is, because it's ferments so quick. I've done a couple things where it's like I've pushed out a mead in 3 weeks because I need something done for I'm serving at a festival or something, right? And I pushed it out with honey additions after fermentation, things like that to just push out a really nice product that I could easily drink at this competition and have it on, or at this, wherever I'm pouring it, at homebrew festival or wherever. I can knock something out quick. Kvik works great with that, and it makes wonderful meads. Not necessarily things that I would necessarily compete with, but are, for the masses, people love.
Oh, okay.
And so
you're saying, like, for the people who might not notice that the aromatics have been blown off.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily, you're not looking for nuanced honey character.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's honey, yes, but it's and you're getting fruit and you're getting all these things and spices or whatever you're adding to it, right? And it makes a nice complex drink, but it's not necessarily a award-winning mead in many cases. I mean, you still can. Obviously, there are people who have done it, but that's where I find that I don't like to use expensive honeys with running hot with Kvike because I end up losing a lot of that honey character that I paid a lot of money for.
I wonder if you did it, like warm basically instead of hot. Running it at the bottom end of the temperature range for Kvike.
I mean, I think that's better in many cases. You still get a lot of those fruity characters from the esters, with the exception of maybe like Lutra, where you're supposed to not get any esters. But when you start getting those high, you're just blowing off. It's fermenting so heavy that you're blowing off any aromatics that were there. I use Kvik a lot in mead, so I don't want to be the hater on Kvik. I just thinking that if you're entering in competition, it tends to not be my number one choice.
Well, for me, I wouldn't be entering in competition because I don't do competitions, at least as an entrant. But I would also be bummed if it blew off all the aromatics of, say, the Princess Street honey. Because I love that honey; it's beautiful.
Yeah, and again, I've never really tried it with the tropical because and which makes sense that it's going to give off some tropical flavors in the yeast that might be with those tropical fruit characters in the honey. But I'm interested, if you do try it, I'm interested to hear how it works out because I've not had great success in that. But
if I run it at, oh god, I think the bottom range of that stuff is like what, low 80s, high 70s, low 80s.
I think it's down in mid 60s.
Oh, does it? Well, in that case, I could just ferment it in the basement because that's where the basement stays at year round. I'll try that.
Go as high as 90.
Yeah. Because I remember Carvin with his. I put it out in the backyard on the picnic table, and 24 hours later, it was done. Oh, yeah. But that was Arizona too. It was like 140 degrees in the shade.
Yeah, I fermented in the garage in the summer where it's nice and toasty, and got it done in 24, maybe 36 hours.
Mm-hmm. Front load that puppy and let her go.
Yeah. Also the problem is Kvike will keep eating as long as it can. So I've had where I'm hoping to end at like 12-13%, go to 17%, and just dry out meads with hot head.
So you end up having to back sweeten. Yeah.
And it's boozy at that, right?
Oh, yeah, that's not fun.
Exactly. So it's
I wonder if it would, I'll have to give it a try at lower temps then and see if it's maybe a little less aggressive.
Can you do side by side?
Let's see why not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got multiple fermenters and
I gotta get a new stash of buckets.
Do a trial.
Yeah. I gotta do a new stash of buckets anyway. All my buckets didn't survive the move, so yeah, well, it was basically down to, honey, I'm not putting those in. There's no more room in the truck.
Since they're just empty buckets.
Yeah, I know.
My doings when you get there, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not super expensive, and I'd rather get fresh ones anyway. I got to find a brew shop, though. Otherwise, I'm ordering online. There's no brew shop within like 50 miles of me that I've found so far.
Huh. My hardware store's got food grade buckets, so
that's true. Yeah, that's true. I could get the ones.
Buy grape juice in those 6-gallon buckets, from the brew shop.
Mm-hmm.
Chamberson.
And then you got yourself a nice fermenter.
Yeah, I have the ones that I got for the when I made the Chamerlo, and I hadn't rigged them for airlocks, but I suppose I could.
Super easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're there. I mean, actually, what I've been doing is they serve as water storage, especially when the well went out and we were having to. We have like 3 or 4 7-gallon spigot containers that I wouldn't use for fermenting, and then we have those. So there was like one of those sitting in the bathroom so you could flush the toilet.
If you're coming down this way, I can always point you in the direction of the homebrew shop right by my house here. So
okay, where are you at generally?
I'm right by Bee Nectar. So
okay. I didn't realize you were so close.
I'm 2-ish miles from the nectar.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, I know there's brew shops down that way. I just was kind of bummed. There was one in Traverse City, but then it closed like 6 months after I moved here. So.
There isn't that many around by us anymore. There's only one now.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't make it through COVID. Yeah.
But they've all slowly disappeared and died.
Yeah, it's sad.
That one, and then there's a small one over in, I think, Livonia. There's like a little teeny place. And then there's one up in Port Huron. And then
okay.
So Madison Heights, Lapeer, Madison Heights, Livonia, and Port Huron are the only ones I know of that are like actually brick and mortar that you don't have to order from.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind ordering; it's fine. They're, especially if you get up over a certain amount, most of them will give you free or reduced shipping. So
yeah,
because that's usually the only stop batch is shipping. Oh wait, you want how much?
Yeah, I just
Bill,
list of stuff. More beer. What?
When I was there for Michigan Mead Cup,
yep.
A little bee put a thought in my head. I heard that you and Michelle do some like really elaborate dinner parties.
We do.
Does mead feature a prominent role in those things?
I would say there's usually a mead in most of them. It's not necessarily a prominent role. There's usually at least one pairing of mead. So yeah, we do very elaborate, big dinner parties. The last one was a Lord of the Rings dinner.
Oh, fun!
So that was a lot of fun. We used my cherry amberana wood mead as one of
nice.
the pairings with it, and it turned out great. And then I also blended my my harvest ale that I made with an orange blossom mead to make a braggot for one of the courses as well, because I was like, we were aiming to have a nice hoppy character in whatever we were doing, but it just seemed to overpower the course that we were pushing it with. So I was like, I wonder, and I did some tastings, and I blended it with an orange blossom mead I had, and it turned it out wonderful. So we ended up kind of turning it into a braggot, 50-50 orange blossom with a harvest IPA, and it turned out great, and it paired perfect. That was paired with a venison backstrap with a blackberry compote on top of it.
Nice.
It just paired wonderful with that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That hop just threw some of that gaminess, and it was just perfect.
Gaminess.
Who's doing the cooking? Both of you, or?
Yeah, the both of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, we're gonna have a conversation if you're getting gaminess in your backstrap.
It's not like it's gamey as in anything in from a deer, but as far as like, it's not super gamey like you're getting it from like a hindquarter or something.
Yeah, see, it's one of the things I learned at my mother's knee, literally, was how not to have gamey venison. Because, I mean, I pretty much grew up on venison. That was, for many years, that was one of the main meats in our house, because my dad was always going on strike with the union he was in, was constantly going on strike. So,
yeah,
grocery store meat was not a thing that figured big in our diet. So,
yeah, I've never been a big hunter. Like, I've done small game, but never really gone to the big game stuff. But luckily, I have lots of friends who the biggest holiday of the year is November 15th.
Yeah. Oh, we're already getting ready. I mean, my blind is ready, and yeah, next year I'm going to hunt crossbow during bow season too. But this year I didn't. Yeah.
You guys are doing it on your own land, right?
Yeah, we've got 20 acres. So, but I've also got cousins around here that've got land, and my uncle's got a hunt camp, and I've got plenty of places I can hunt if I didn't want to hunt on my property if the deer avoided us for some reason.
All I've heard is people like terrified of public land because it's a Saturday.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't hunt on public land on opening day.
I've done it. Won't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's a good way to get shot because there's an awful lot of look, bam. You know, people don't. There's too many people that don't understand that this is, you know, that this is a skill set. You have to do it well and right. You know,
especially when November 15th on a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my dad actually. Quick sidebar story. My dad actually saw that happen or experienced that happening. He was going out on opening day. And he's going out into the woods and he sees guys sitting at the base of a tree and he looked like he was sleeping. So he just kind of tippy-toe past the guy. Hey, you know, some people like to nap at the beginning of the, you know, hunt and all that. So he kind of let it be. Then he comes back out later and the guy's still sitting there. And that's when he realized, and it was light by then, so he could actually get a good look at him. And the guy had been shot. So somebody, some new hunter or something he'd moved and that somebody saw him and shot him. Yeah, he used to tell me that story on the regulars to make sure to my brother and I both to make sure that we understand you cannot don't do buck fever, you know. Yeah, wear your orange and you know be aware.
Yeah, I have a friend who was shot at on the road riding her horse.
Well, I had a brown horse and that horse stayed in the barn during deer season every year.
Yeah,
bow hunters don't shoot each other.
They don't.
Not as often, no.
Never.
No, I would not say never.
Well, let me put it this way. Maybe a bow hunter would shoot someone intentionally.
Yeah, but by the time, for the amount of time it takes you to get the shot, you have to know it was a deer. You know? You can't just...
I don't think there's a recorded case of an accidental bow hunter shooting.
Well, nowadays they let you use crossbows because that's what I'm going to be using next year.
Well, that could be different.
Yeah, I've got weakness in the shoulders and elbows from all the surgeries, so I can't pull.
Yeah, I can't draw a bow either.
Yeah, I can't draw.
Bows, you have to be very deliberate.
Yeah, it's like a crossbow's like a gun. You literally can pop up and shoot. You know. So.
Yeah, we veered a little off topic. So.
Yep, sorry about that. Hey, hunting season's only 10 days away.
I know. It's exciting. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Man, fresh backstrap, there ain't nothing like it. I'll have to pick a meat to go with that. I'll have to hit you up, Bill, for the compote you were talking about. That sounds pretty interesting.
It was delicious. I still have some. We cooked some up not too long ago, and it was.
I will hit you up. I will hit you up for that because I would love to try that. We love backstrap, but it's always fun to try new things. I made so foodie sidebar. I made Mexican shredded. Oh shoot, Kevin, help me out here. We had it was when Raul took us to the restaurant that was so good. And I can't think of the meat style is escaping me. I hate this.
Yeah.
But I took a haunch and cooked it like it was Mexican beef and oh my god. Did you get any of the deer strami, Bill, when I was down there?
I did not.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I will rectify that.
Yeah. My wife loves to make pastrami every year, so we do it with beef though. Never done it with deer though.
Oh, okay. I'll send you I got the doings of it from Dan McNevin up northeast. He's up in Connecticut or something like that, New Hampshire. But I'll send you the info on it. But it's easy as heck. Of course, it's past the smoking season is kind of coming to a close around here. So
there is no such thing as an end of smoking season.
Yeah, would you please tell my husband that? I keep trying to tell him, and he doesn't listen to me. He's like, nope, grilling and smoking season is over. I'm like, what?
I smoked Chipotle's today. So
not until you're risking frostbite.
Yeah, right. Well, he's right in that. I mean, we've got like a little chintzy electric smoker that my dad had that we used. We tried it with a wood smoker and keeping it even, and it took like 5 times longer than it should have. So. But it's harder when it's cold, so to keep it at temperature. But anyway, coming back around to mead.
Hey, that's what this is about?
Yeah. So when you're doing you're doing dinners also featuring mead, have you done anything with mead is, in marinade or saucing or anything like that?
I can't think of a time I've specifically used mead in the dish for those dinners. I've done definitely like things like chilies where chicken chili where mead is the like deglazing liquid and things like that, so you get that nice sweet honey character out of it. But I don't think I've specifically used mead as like a marinade in one of these specific dinners.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I try. I like mead as a pairing in a lot. And most people like to think of meads as so sweet that they go as the dessert. But I almost never use a mead as a dessert pairing. I find that most meads tend to do well with more savory dishes. Because as you drink a mead, you salivate more, and you're like looking for something to balance that. You don't want more sweet in a dessert. You want something like that's going to be a little bit more savory, and want you to drink another sip of the mead, which is going to make you want to get a piece of the meat, right? And then that's that coercion that like works great with meads and meat in most savory type meat character.
Yeah, Kevin, that was a barbacoa that I made. I made a venison barbacoa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. I'm finding more and more new ways to make things with venison. I actually use mead. Like if I'm doing like a roast, I'll dump a bottle of mead in there for tenderizer, and it adds a lovely flavor to it as well.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he came over because he wanted to make his first beer, and we brewed a porter, and as a thank you to brewing a beer with him, he gave me like a venison roast. So I got his first buck that he ever got. So
cool.
So that's going to be on my list of things to make soon. I haven't. It's still in the freezer, but I haven't had a chance to.
That's what I used to make the deer strami, and then I used another roast, a big haunch piece, to make the barbacoa. I'll send you the recipes if you want them.
Yeah, send me the pastrami. That probably.
Oh yeah, the deer strami is amazing. Yeah. I got a big old bag of that, and I gotta split it up and vacuum seal it because I gotta send a couple packages to Tracy, one for her to give to JJ to send up to AJ, and yeah, and our underground AJ runs here.
They're above ground. You just need someone who's actually going across the border.
Yeah, I'm close to the border. I'm just far from you once I get across the border. Yeah. So I don't come up in I'm not up in your area unless I'm specifically coming that way. So we did get some interesting Nathan questions for you, Bill.
Okay.
Let's see here. And they say none of them had anything to do with that. Okay, so let's as long as we're hanging out with the comps and festivals thing for the moment, we'll do the last one first. What's your most vivid experience of the Michigan Homebrew Festival and why? Be honest.
Oh.
Now, that could be interesting.
I mean, so Nathan's Google foo is pretty good. That means he's on something.
I don't know where he gets some of this stuff. I really don't. I'm not going to ask.
Right?
It's probably better not to know.
I'm trying to think of any of the fun tea, but I don't really have anything specifically from Michigan Mead Cup.
The Homebrew Festival.
Michigan the Homebrew Festival.
The thing in the woods, man.
Homebrew Festival. Okay.
Yeah. Not the MMC. This is the
MMC. Okay. I was thinking that so the Michigan. Well, the year that we got kicked out of the first location.
Oh, the Holly one.
What in Holly? Okay. Yeah, it was at like a campground in Holly. And it was very family type campground, and it was set up in these circles, and these like rings.
Right.
So the first year we had like a couple sites. The second year we took over a full ring, and the third year we took over a second ring, and and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. and it was getting harder to get people to like, just not walk in and do stuff. So we were like, that's when we started having to like check IDs and have people with this stuff. So it was starting to get hard to manage, and it was so big that there was, I think, 3 or 4 different rings, and these are pretty good sized rings. You can probably fit 50 or 60 campsites in a ring.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, you would we had like one ring that was specifically just for clubs.
Okay.
Everyone would have, at that point, everyone at their own campsites had their own kegs, and then the clubs would have their club sites with kegs going too.
Right.
Well, it was getting to be about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. People are getting a little drunk at this point. And the big club at the time, they were doing a karaoke, and they also had built out this humongous structure out of pallets to make it look like a giant like fairground. Like it was impressive. So they're doing karaoke, and they're also like, hey, what are we going to do with all these pallets we're on? So they have been like slowly tearing down the pieces that they don't need anymore by the end of the night and putting them on a fire. Well,
that's a big fire.
5, 6, 7, 10 pallets later, the fire is
30 feet high and
30 feet high.
Yeah.
And going nuts in this like, KOC kind of campground.
No, that's it. And they also have you're supposed to be quiet after 10 in most campgrounds.
Agreed, right?
Yeah.
And so the police show up.
Obviously. Oh dear.
So they show up, and they're kind of talking with the organizers are there. They're trashed.
Oh no.
I mean, beyond drunk. But they're like calming things down a little bit, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna put down, we're not putting any more pallets on. We're gonna let this die down, and we'll just let it die down, and it'll be fine. And as that happens, they're about to leave, and someone throws a plate on the fire, and that pissed off the cops. So the cops start getting real mad, and out of the campsite where they're doing karaoke, all you hear is "fuck the police."
Oh God! Man!
Noise. So immediately they close everything down.
Yeah.
But the funny part is everyone has kegs and everything at their campsites.
Mm-hmm.
So we just all go back to our campsites and start drinking again. And then an hour and a half later, have the brilliant idea of like, oh, they're gone, and just fire
the fire back up.
Right back to where you were.
Right back to where we were.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
seems like a good idea at the time.
To say we were no longer invited back after that.
Gosh, I wonder why.
But luckily, we found our new site, which is, in my opinion, like a million times better, and we can literally do whatever the heck we want, and no one cares because no one's even looking there at all. It's totally us. So it's a much better solution. So that's one of my favorite Michigan Homebrew Festival things. So
that sounds a lot like without the getting really, really drunk, although there's enough of it going on. My black powder shooting organization, North South Skirmish Association, and at our nationals, they have the organization owns a fairly good sized chunk of land outside Winchester, Virginia, and they have the nationals there in the spring and the fall. And every team, and ours was Rowan Artillery. We were a North Carolina team, and every team has their own campsite. And so you would go from campsite to campsite sharing food and booze and whatnot. And there's a barn dance up in this big structure they've got up at one end, and yeah, just all that kind of stuff. And there's a guy, the campsite next to us would have the 30-foot fires. They fueled it with pallets.
Yeah, not good to breathe in, but
not really, no. And
definitely go up well.
Yeah, they go up really good, and it's like the trees are starting to crisp. It's like, guys, you need to back it off a little bit.
So yeah, when I was saying it's like Michigan Homebrew Festival is like Burning Man for homebrewers. And actually,
yeah, I'm definitely going to have to talk John into coming down to that. I mean, we got the little rig, and that thing can go anywhere. So,
but yeah, if anyone's interested, it's the third weekend in August every year at Camp Agawam in Lake Orion.
Okay.
And it is my highlight of my summer every year. It is as much beer, mead, wine, and food as you can possibly want, and it's really good food. It's people like bring their entire smokers, and people bring Blackstones. Last year, the Ann Arbor Brewers Guild built a fire in the ground with spits and they roasted 150 chickens.
Whoa!
Hot coals.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So it was. There's every year there's something big happening and you will never go hungry or thirsty in this event. No matter if you showed up with something or nothing, you will be rightly fed and drank the entire day.
Cool. And that goes that's like a 3-day weekend, right? Friday through Sunday?
No, it's like Wednesday to Sunday.
Oh, it's like our nationals then. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Like the big day is Friday, but festivities start on Wednesday evening and they go until breakdown on Sunday morning.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to block out Thursday through Sunday. And
yeah, it's a hell of a time. Oh,
cool. Yeah, I'll text you. I'll text you for the all the deets as far as that, and I'll start working on my husband. But that sounds like a hell of a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, every year, third weekend of August.
Okay. It sounds like a plan. So y'all Michiganders out there, if you're not, you should be.
Come on up, even if you're not.
Yeah.
We'll have all kinds of fun for you.
Yeah, even if you're from Ohio, I mean.
Yeah.
Somebody has to live in Ohio.
There is far more alcohol than there are people. So we could use livers.
Need
does
more
Michigan have a problem with Ohio? Is that what I'm hearing there?
Michigan and Ohio have a sports rivalry that goes back.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like Ohio. I hate Ohio State. Okay.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, Ohio and Michigan have a rivalry that goes back a long time. It's a friendly thing, but it's there.
Yeah, it's funny. Detroit Football Club literally has a shirt that just says "Fuck Ohio."
Fuck Ohio. Yeah.
It's literally like they're saying, like, it doesn't matter if you're playing an Ohio team or not, the crowd will chant "Fuck Ohio."
Oh yeah, and the Ohio State game is almost as contentious as the Michigan State game.
Oh, I think they're more. Like,
you think?
I think so. Like Michigan State, it used to be a big thing, but Michigan, Ohio is like people.
Huge. Yeah.
People riot.
Yeah, they do. So it's yeah.
You said there were multiple questions from.
There's always multiple questions with.
Of course.
I mean, come on.
And you have to also understand that a question may not be just a question.
Yeah, often they are multi-part. Yeah. Okay, so as long as we start at the end, we're going to work our way backwards here, he says. So he says, I hear you are a haggis aficionado and have been known to make Scotch eggs in addition to growing some slightly spicy ghost peppers and also a purveyor of pancetta. Will ever these items meet?
Where does he come up with this stuff?
We don't know, and we're
Yep,
afraid to
yep.
ask. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm
He's
just going to get
amazing.
Nathan by himself on the show, and then we're going to see if we can get somebody to do that to him.
So, haggis. I mean, we've done a couple different versions of haggis, but like the latest one was specifically for one of those dinners that we had talked about earlier. And we did a Robert Burns night, and
Those are great.
we basically made a haggis and then lit it on fire, which immediately turned on my, hit my my fire alarm in my house, which was fun. But lit it on fire, did the address to the haggis, and then took that and made a layered neeps and tatties and haggis like parfait.
Oh, nice.
Turned
That
out
would actually be really good.
And
I like haggis.
also, that dinner also had Scotch eggs, which were phenomenal. I love making Scotch eggs.
Oh God, and they're so easy to make.
They are.
And I love making Scotch eggs. I make them and I'll take bags of them with me to an event, and people like mob me for them. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You go to a Renaissance festival and they're selling those things for $6 a piece. It's like, shoot, I can make it a dozen Scotch eggs for about 15 bucks.
Oh yeah. I mean, and if you like, I like to make my own sausage and everything too. So
yeah,
if I'm buying in bulk and I make sausages, I'll basically make bangers, and I'll take some of the sausage mix for bangers, put it outside, and literally freeze it. And then whenever I want to make Scotch eggs, I'll just pull that off and then use that sausage to make Scotch eggs, and it's wonderful. So that's that. And then what was the other part of that? Sorry.
Oh, the other part was you have been growing some slightly spicy ghost peppers and are also a purveyor of pancetta. So will any of this all come together? Will any of these items ever meet?
So I haven't grown peppers in a few years, but for a while I was growing a bunch of them, and then I realized that no one wants to eat your incredibly hot ghost peppers or scorpions or whatever, and I've made like hot sauces with them and that no one will eat because they're too hot. So I've stopped making them.
Those things are way too hot.
Yeah.
Over the top too hot.
Pancetta, we've made pancetta many times, and it's wonderful. And I could see some spicy pancetta being pretty interesting though. So that could be fun. I've not done it though. So that could be cool. All right. Well, I think that's all I've got for that. And what's the next one, I guess?
Okay. Next one is what mead pairs best with laksa soup? And I think the next the corollary question there would be, what's laksa soup? Never had it.
So laksa soup is a Korean kind of spicy soup base that's like also served traditionally with fish. As a kind of a protein within the soup.
Okay.
And what mead would go well with laksa soup would probably be
Tej would work with that, I would think.
Tej would be pretty good, but I was thinking maybe a buckwheat.
Ooh, yeah.
Like a lot of that earthy kind of funky characters that would go really well with some of those Korean, spicy, earthy notes, like root vegetable kind of characters that come in a lot of those things.
Yeah, Dan McNevins root vegetable mead might work with that.
Or an ube.
Or an ube. Yeah.
Like what I'm drinking.
I will say, you were talking about ube. I'm like, man, now I want to make an ube mead.
I know. It's actually in the top 15 of things for me to try to make here coming up.
You have to get the ube is the problem.
Well, I suspect that's not that hard. We do live in America after all.
Yeah, well, that's true.
We just made ube gnocchi.
Oh, okay.
So you can get ube pretty easily around this area. So you can get it. Well,
you live down where there's ethnic stuff. I don't get a lot of that around here. I'd have to go out hunting for it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I'm lucky, and I live in basically the Asian food mecca of Michigan.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that around there.
Everything around me is, Thai or Vietnamese is very big around my area. Korean, Chinese, and it's all very traditional, very good Asian cuisine in my area, which is awesome. And we have like 3 gigantic Asian food markets, which
you're gonna have to take me to one of those next time I come down, because I love going to those places. I'm dangerous in them, but there's a lot of stuff that I can't find that I would like to have to hand.
Yeah, I mean, I've I like to go there and find fun fruits. I've done a kumquat mead. I've done a leche mead. I helped Brad do what's it called? A durian mead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The stinkiest fruit on the planet.
Makes a pretty good mead though.
Yeah, see, I was there. You tried it, and it was really.
It makes a pretty good mead. Yeah, it's because I've never smelled like a durian outside of a mead, but yeah, it makes a great mead.
But yeah, so I also did a langoustine mead. That was really good.
Okay.
So there's like all kinds of really cool, interesting fruits that you don't see at your normal grocer. That I find it.
I thought langoustines were a shrimp.
Sorry, not langoustine. Lagosti. They're basically look like rambutan, but a little like more oblong. They're like furry, and you can and the inside is like fleshy, and they're pretty good. Yeah, I think it's not pronounced langoustine, because I think langoustine is like shrimp. You're right. I think it's
that's a type of shrimp.
Yeah. It's very similarly spelled.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I've actually been I want to make a rambutan mead, but my problem is every rambutan I get in America is way past its prime and just doesn't have the same type of like beautiful flavor that I get when I have it like in Southeast Asia. So I'm like, I want to try to make one, but it's just I've never found right.
It changes, yeah. When you go to the place where the food comes from, it changes the way you see it and how you want to do things.
Yeah, and
well, I mean, none of us are at our best when we've been crammed in a shipping container or on a truck for hours and hours.
Yeah,
selected for sturdiness and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Red Delicious was developed. The worst apple in America.
Worst apple in America, except for the
I don't know why they call it that. Ugh.
It's not very delicious at all, yeah.
The Goldens are okay, but the red ones are gross.
The red ones are nasty, yeah. Didn't learn that till I was a grown-up, though.
Looks pretty.
Oh, it was just the apple that was available, I mean,
they don't go mushy. That's the sole good thing about them.
They grew a lot of them around here.
It's a great example of fruit doesn't always translate well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy that a lot of orchards in Michigan are starting to finally move outside of just eating apples. But for the longest time, we were plagued with nothing but eating apples.
Yeah. Well, and there's some really good ones. I'm a nut for the Evercrisps. God, I love those things. The flavor is just amazing. But I mean, they're eating apples, not cider apples.
Cox's Orange Pippins are my personal favorite.
I like Dabinette. They've been one of my favorites lately. I like to eat Dabinettes. They're a little tartar, but they're delicious.
Yeah.
But they're great for cider.
Have you had the Evercrisps?
I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, one of the local farms here that has a farm stand has them every year, and I'd never had them before. I'd had Honeycrisps, those are in the stores everywhere. But Evercrisps is apparently another varietal that probably was developed, but they're amazing and they keep like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Honey crisps are good for that too.
That's been growing up in this area too.
Yeah. But okay, so moving on with the Nathan's been in your business questions. How has your take on hopped cherry evolved since your last efforts?
Hopped cherry? I haven't remade one, but technically, we're doing a collaboration with Maniacal, doing a hopped cherry. But we haven't. Last I heard, we haven't added the hops. We're there. We added the cherries and the honey and fermented that. But I have not actually talked to them and figured out where we're at with it, because I need to get over there and figure out what we're gonna do. But with that one, the hop cherry mead I made it with Emerald Spire hops. Right?
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
Hingham High is a hop producer in Michigan, and so they that's one of their like proprietary hops, and it's really good. And I used that when I made the original one, so we're planning to use those same hops for this one that's going to be released at Maniacal.
Okay.
I don't have a date or when it's going to happen, but it's probably ready for the hops at this point, because the hops all went in right at the end.
Okay.
In my original one, I actually did. So I used a thiolized yeast, but this one we used like D47, I think. But,
okay.
We used the thiolized yeast in the original one, and I held the must at I think it was 160 degrees with the hops and whirlpooled for like 25 minutes, and then cooled it down, and then pitched the thiolized yeast, which then broke it apart. The thiols in the hops, and gave it this really cool, really soft and tropical flavors out of the hop character, which was cool. But we didn't do that with this one. So it was that was a hydromel, and this was beyond sack, in my opinion. We went pretty big with it, so that thiolized yeast was just never gonna hold up to it. So we decided to forego the thiolized component of the mead.
That sounds interesting. I might have to see about getting some of that.
I don't know that for a homebrewer's side. I know that Imperial, not Imperial. What's the I'm blanking on who does all the Kvike, the big Kvikes mead.
Oh, shoot.
Wife, I believe. Is the abbreviation. Sorry, can't remember the name of the company.
The yeast company that does all those like different Kvike yeasts and like Lutra and things like that.
Mm-hmm. It's a blended one, you mean?
No, it's
Rob's saying Omega.
Omega, thank you.
Yeah, he's over and over again. He's saying Omega.
Thank you. I was blanking on the Omega made the thiolized yeast, and they cut a lot of their homebrew like sizes out for a lot of their specialty yeasts.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lutra, the thiolized yeasts were one of those, which is sad, but it it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see. We got one more Nathan question. Kevin, you want to take this one?
Let's see here. All right. So, Bill, I understand you started out making Tej. I'm wondering if you've learned anything along the way, honey or process related, that you would have told your former self in advance of your mead making journey?
Yes, absolutely. So, my first mead ever, well, like I said, my first like real like intentional mead, not really, not not knowing what mead was essentially. Because my very first mead was, in college, taking honey packets from commissary and putting them into a bucket and with water and bread yeast and getting drunk off that. But my very first like intentional like make mead was my mom was Kemetic, and she wanted to try mead for the first time. Sorry, tried Tej, because we had Tej at a local Ethiopian restaurant called Blue Nile. But when we tried it, it didn't taste anything like what Tej was explained to us as.
Mm-hmm.
So when we, it was good, but it tasted like white wine because it was white wine with honey in it.
Yeah.
But Tej, when we were reading up on it at that time, was a cloudy yellow liquid that was made very quickly and kind of sweet, and made with gesho sticks.
Uh-huh.
So I followed a random online thing and did the whole rigmarole, and then I bottled them into 375 milliliter wine bottles and corked them. And it was good. It was interesting. It wasn't amazing, but it was good. And within a week or two, my mom called me up at 2 a.m. and was like, "The bottles are exploding and then shooting at my ceiling."
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Yeah, I learned that pretty quick. So I basically told her, "Hey, put something on top of it so that it doesn't shoot anything, and I'll come and do it in the morning, and then we'll figure it out." So literally, I take the piece of board off that she put on top of the case, and I'm watching the corks slowly move up.
Oh God.
And I'm like, okay, well, we'll figure this out. So I grab one out at a time, and I decant it out and put it into a sanitized pitcher, and I'm like, well, what do I do with this now? And so we ended up just drinking it, and it was good. But again, what do you do with it? So we put the picture in the fridge and drank it for a few days, and then tossed the rest. But since then, I've had a couple times doing Tej and have learned many things. A, let it ferment out, and B, sulfate and sorbate it so that it doesn't explode on you afterward. And so I've made a couple different Tejas. I made and back to competition. Historical is one of those areas that tends to be lower entered, though as of lately it's been getting inundated with a lot of Polish meads.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Polish meads these days.
Again, Tej is really hard to compete against the Polish mead. And it can, but in a mini Basta show or whatever, there's no way you're a really nice Polish mead versus a really nice Tej. I feel like at least in the sugar belt areas, you're not gonna make it. But anyway, I won many a gold before the kind of Polish craze hit, and with much like that, and it turned out really good. And I'd have to go find the lady's name, but during COVID, Amy Olsen had met up with a girl from California that had done a bunch of seminars on Tej, and she did one for the Michigan Mead Coalition over Zoom one day, and so we just during COVID all made Tej. I bought because you could only buy them in like a 1 pound bag of of Gesho sticks.
Oh yeah.
And then like divvied them out to the entire group, basically is like, porch pickup kind of thing. And everyone made a tej, and we kind of had like a tej competition for
Fun.
COVID, which was fun. So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that rounded out time-wise really well, didn't it?
Are we actually going to finish on time for a change?
I think it might be possible.
Well, wonders never cease.
I know. All right, I should go buy a lottery ticket. But this is cool. I got to get down there, man. We didn't really get a chance to sit and do more than talk for a few minutes,
Yeah. Well, next time you're down, definitely hit me up. We'll
Absolutely.
I know Brad got to show you around Detroit a little bit, but I can show you.
Oh, he grabbed me and he had me come over to the house. He fed me breakfast, and then stuffed me in the van, and off we went. And we went all over Detroit. We went to Belle Isle. We went. We rode the People Mover all the way around and walked all through the Red Set. So, which is nice because I've never actually been inside the Red Set, and I hear they're tearing it down. So.
Yeah, you got your chance.
I got to see it. Oh, the cars. That was all I wanted to see. The cars. There's some beautiful cars in there. Whew. Real pretty.
Indeed.
Yeah. But I'll let you get on with things because I imagine you've got to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'll get up with you for sure. I'm trying to read and talk and type at the same time, and I'm not very good at it, am I?
One input, one output. I keep telling you
right? Yeah, I just, my IO ports are limited. But yeah, so thanks for coming back too. And I apologize for sounding like a ditz last night. I was like on my way to bed when you texted. So.
It's all good. I just had it on my schedule. I was like,
yeah, and I remember talking to you when we were at B Nectar. I remember asking you to come on the show. What I didn't do was write it down on the bloody calendar.
Fundamental Brewing 101.
Yeah,
write it down.
I wrote it on my calendar, and I had completely forgot about it until I looked at my calendar. What's going on?
In my defense, I was drinking. So yeah. I somehow managed. I managed to remember to put Bloom on there because I went by Bloom when I was down for the Michigan Beekeepers Conference.
Right. Yep.
But I put it down because I had a glass of cider there. I mean, that was it. I hadn't eaten dinner, so I was like snarfing up. She gave me some hors d'oeuvre things, and I munched those down and had a glass of cider, and that was it.
And Matt Ritchie's such a fun guy. He was to your off too, which is
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I asked is it his wife that's there?
Yeah, his wife, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. She's who I talked to. He was either not there or in the back or something. Yeah, and they were busy. It was a Saturday. I can't remember
her name at the moment, but I've only.
I can't either, and I got to hunt it down because I'll sound like a doofus otherwise when I call her. But yeah, it was a neat little place. It was homecoming weekend for U of M.
Oh yeah, so it's
in Ann Arbor. It's like this is possibly the worst night of the year to be in Ann Arbor.
But yeah, that is one thing area that's cool is that they do kind of like push the dry carrot category.
They do, and I was interested in their meads, and here we go off into a we can go another hour with that. But yeah, I liked them. The ones that I tried, I sampled a couple of them and just drank that one glass of cider. But I want to go back and try some more.
Yeah, I'd say their sweetest mead is off dry.
Yeah, I go along with that from what I've been told.
And so, which is cool. Like I like that, And
you don't see enough of that. Did you ever go to Sellerman's?
I did, yeah.
Royal Oak, yeah.
Yep.
They really had it. They did such a nice dry mead. It was really good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can sit here over a glass of mead and do that. But yeah, let's get together.
Absolutely.
And you have a good one.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, man.
Come back.
All right. Have a good one then. Thanks Bill.
very much.
See ya.
Okay, y'all. 2 more shows to go, and then we are done for the year. So November 18th, we have Blair Housley, Etowah Meadery. It's there in North Georgia. He's meadery, and he also has a brewery now. Really interesting stuff. He does some really interesting meads, and he has the Pawpaw mead. We'll be talking about that because he sent me a bottle. December 2nd, our last one of the year is Bloom Meadworks in Ann Arbor, and they, as was mentioned, do dryer stuff and just some really good stuff there. So I think we're coming up to a nice round out into the holiday season. A lot of events going on. We have November 7th, Funktastic Meads and Beer, Midlothian, Virginia. Mead and music by Damian Allen. November 7th, Bee Nectar Meadery, Ferndale, Michigan. Open mic night, comedy. November 8th, St. Ambrose Cellars, Beulah, Michigan. Mead and cheese pairing with the Cheese Lady. November 8th, UNLB Lab and Kimmel Orchard in Nebraska City, Nebraska are offering a mead making workshop. November 8th, Wilkesboro, North Carolina, Stardust Cellars has both a mead making course and a Harvest Mead Fest. So that'll be fun. November 8th, Grimsby Hollow Meadery, Middleville, Michigan. Drink mead, learn things, potions, poisons, and snake oil. They have the best seminar titles. They're just awesome. November 9th, St. Ambrose Cellars, Beulah, Michigan, has a Sunday brunch. So mead pairing brunch. Then they've got a kitchen that they put in, and they very nice food there. Their pizzas are really excellent with hot honey on them. November 13th, Silverhand Meadery, Williamsburg, Virginia, 10th anniversary dinner series, a mead pairing dinner. Congrats on the 10th anniversary, man. It's got good mead. November 15th, St. Ambrose Cellars, Beulah, Michigan, mead and cheese with the Cheese Lady. November 18th, WTF, What to Ferment Meadery in Milford, Delaware, has mead and cookie pairing. November 20th, Nucleus Mead in Linesville, Pennsylvania, has a mead and read. November 22nd, Crafted Artisan Meadery in Mogadore, Ohio, has mead and meditation. November 22nd, Doggone Bees Meadery and Apiary in Hanover, PA, has a mead making class. And November 22nd, Four Brothers Mead, Festus, Missouri, has Tom Borick and Veronica Mary Agnes musicians playing live music. So, as always, support your local meadery. And if you don't have a local meadery or just wish to get other meadery stuff, go to shopmeads.com. You'll find a lot of meads from around the country there. And if you want to get your event on Got Mead Live, feel free to email at gotmead@gotmead.com and we'll put it up for you. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks with Blair Housley, and be excellent to one another.
Night, everybody.
Take care.